It's January 25th, 2020. I asked in our Discord chat if anybody wants a deep dive video done on an altcoin. Now, if you have a coin request and you would like me to do a deep dive on your cryptocurrency, leave the comments down below. I'd be happy to do that. Let's dig into this one and see what is going on for ADA. And it's because I am super excited about what's coming up in altcoin season. So I'm going to dig into ADA and I'm going to go through the indicator set with this coin. And the reason I'm so excited about it is because of the way that Bitcoin dominance is getting ready to drop right now. Bitcoin dominance dropping means that it's altcoin season. And on average, the altcoins are gaining value against the price of Bitcoin on average. But Bitcoin dominance doesn't tell us which are the coins that are taking off and which coins that might be great projects that are still going sideways and it's not time to put our money into it yet. There's other markets that may be doing better. That's what the bull market watch spreadsheet is showing us right now. As we see this orange going down, that's the number of near fail markets in the altcoins going down. That's bullish. They're going up into a neutral status. As we see this yellow line start to grow and the green line start to grow, that's going to correspond with our daily number of alerts and our number of holds increasing. So right now we have 17 markets on Binance that are in hold stance and 8 of them in alert status. And this is the kind of data that you get as a Bull Market Watch subscriber. You can log in, you can see exactly where every single coin is that is traded on Binance. That's why we put this Bull Market Watch spreadsheet together. There's a lot of detail here. I really want everyone who's watching to have this success. There's no reason for you not to have this. There is plenty enough time for all of us to get into alt season and really do well with it. The trouble is not just when to get in, but when to get out. When you have a mechanical, non-emotional way that moves you into the market and out of the market, join us over on the Bull Market Watch. Super excited. Hate to have you miss out. To start off with the weekly relative strength index, this is a pretty big bullish divergence off this long sideways bottom channel. For me, that's really important setup of momentum and gives me a lot of confidence into whatever formation is setting up in here right now. As we go into the daily time frame, we can see that the relative strength index is moving. It's charging all the way up and all the way down. And so it seems to me that it still hasn't settled yet along its bottom, where we're going to start to range from this bottom up and then this bottom up, and this will be our bottom. It seems like we're going to still hesitate a bit here before it starts to charge up just because of this. And we'll know by the closer time frames, if I zoom into the 12-hour time frame, we'll be able to watch this breaking along here as prices pull back, and they may come back and retest these levels, and that's all healthy. That's all normal. And your position sizing, if you're into this, should give you that elasticity, that amount of moving in the prices. Let's zoom into the 4-hour time frame and see what's going on. Because now we have a specific area, we have a specific chart trend, we have a double top. The RSI is showing us a little bit of a bearish divergence, but we're still watching this very spot here to see if it's breaking below and the RSI is cutting down. Okay, it may be doing something, it may be pulling back. So let's go in and see what the other indicators are saying. Let's take a look at the on-balance volume. It's been a lot of selling, but that is trickled away and it's turned into on-balance buying. So this is showing a shift in this market. But for me, this isn't one of the markets that's taking off first. And when we go into our Bull Market Watch sheet, it's showing that it's coming up to an alert status, but it's not something to be heaviest in yet. It hasn't shown that it started a trend upward yet. It could be breaking out, but this isn't time to be heaviest into it yet. I like that we see this kind of volume pattern in here now that it's switched from selling all the way along to mostly buying, a bit of selling, and mostly buying again. So I'll watch on the closer time frames as this price is doing whatever to see if it's going to negative unbalanced volume or positive as soon as the price starts to move. If it starts to weaken off and I'm not seeing much volume, I'll watch. But if I see that there's a lot of negative volume coming in on that, then I'll pay more attention that this is the top and that it's breaking. It doesn't look like we're getting a crash of selling and heavier selling here. So this does feel bullish to me right now. It seems like it's bending to the bullish side. And let's do the weekly view of the MACD. We can see we had a cross to the positive quite a while ago, and it's been trending up in a positive divergence, a bullish divergence, while prices are going sideways. To me, that is like the RSI showing pressure building, and it will release and go fast, and it'll move strongly when it does. When we move into the daily, we can see that it did pull back, but we've gained some strength. This is easing off. Let's zoom into the 12-hour to see. Yeah, it's crossed positive just a little bit here. So it's right on the edge right now for the 12-hour to cross negative. And should it cross negative, I don't know. It doesn't really look. For me, again, it's still coming back to these levels. For me, this is normal. That would be natural room to give it until it's broken out. And after it's broken out, it has to build some structure above that, retest above it, and hold for me to actually believe that it has broken up. Right, this moved above, built some structure, moved above, built some structure. Now we need it to move above and build some structure. Then I'll be starting to believe it. Let's go on to the next indicator to see, I want to go into the 4-hour time frame. How is this easing off? What do we have along this double top right here? Because we have these crossing quite a bit more negative. Should this continue in its bearish stance and widen up, that'll be bearish, of course. When we get into the 1-hour time frame, it's not looking nearly as bearish to me, even though we do have the double top and we do have a bearish divergence here. It's giving us a bullish setup at the same time. So again, there's no way to know until it starts to move. And even at this point, you'd be feathering in your trade. Let's get into the Ichimoku cloud. On the weekly time frame, the blue line is almost crossing above the red, right along these flat bottom. It's nowhere near to come through the cloud. Let's zoom into the daily, because this is where it starts to get interesting. When we're looking at the daily view, the blue line is crossed above the red. That's the conversion line, has moved above the baseline. It's sort of like an exponential moving average crossing over. And now the price has actually moved up above the cloud, and the cloud is twisted positive. Our trailing indicator has cut through almost everything. So this is really setting up to be a very good buy signal. Even if it comes back to these levels, it still looks like we're setting up to be a really nice, strong movement here. That's the first time it's been above it. But again, we need to build that structure up above it now. Let's zoom in to see what the 12-hour is telling us. We crossed over earlier, and again, we're into that mid zone now. So all of these same levels mean something. Let's go to see what our 4-hour is telling us at this level. Blue has just crossed positive. It looks pretty noisy. Hey, it's crossing negative, positive, negative, positive. And that's normal. If we are going to be breaking out higher, this is a beautiful formation that's coming up against the cloud, and then it's building, testing it again. Blue crossing above the red as the prices continue. If that starts to flare, that'll be proving out the takeoff from here. I'm keen to see what the Bollinger Bands are doing, because when I set this up and I was looking at this weekly Bollinger Band, I thought, wow, that is really tightened up like we've never seen. Then when we get to the daily, it's coming up to that 200 period exponential moving average. When it breaks above that, it's going to be pretty significant. So that we're in this sideways range and building out on this. I just want to watch what's going to go along as it breaks out or as it pulls back. We've got the double top. We're above the mid-range in the 12-hour. Nothing knowing here. Again, we're right at the mid-range in the 4-hour. So I don't really have much more to add to this by looking at the Bollinger Bands from this. It's not a signal yet for this, but I'm really watching more what's the Bollinger Bands doing in all of the altcoins. So in summary, I see ADA as a very fantastic thing to be putting a little wee bit of money into and wait for it to prove itself that it's actually going to start to trend. There are other altcoin markets that are already doing a very much better move. And a few of our more famous examples happened recently here, where Bitcoin Cash took off and Bitcoin SV took off. We went from alert status to hold status, and away they went. Bitcoin went into hold status on the 7th of January, and it's went into exit stance on the 24th of January. We can see that Dash went into hold status on the 12th of January. It's still in hold status for it right now. ADA hasn't jumped into hold status quite yet. It's in alert status. And so there are many different coins that you could be looking through to see what are they setting up like. diversify into those that are moving, and then keep watching those, the ones that are going sideways and getting ready. But let's just stay sideways with them. And as they go sideways, we can wait for them. They're not going anywhere. Once they start their moves, then we can be starting to phase into them. And we have to be watching every single day because we don't know when they're going to actually take off. They could pull back a little bit from here and then just absolutely blast when some news comes out. Everything is tight as a drum right now, and preparation is the key. And you can see here that you get special videos that go along with the bull market watch. We do market scan videos to go through everything so that you can really understand the system. You can really get the feel of it day by day watching along with this. Stuff that you don't get on YouTube. So that's why we put this bull market watch spreadsheet together. There's a lot of detail here. I really want everyone who's watching to have this success. There's no reason for you not to have this. There is plenty enough time for all of us to get into alt season and really do well with it. The trouble is not just when to get in, but when to get out. When you have a mechanical, non-emotional way that moves you into the market and out of the market, join us over on the bull market watch. Super excited. Hate to have you miss out. Get all this information, get all this training, have somebody updating the entire spreadsheet for you every single day. Nothing else out there like it. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching all the way through this. I'm wanting to hear your success stories. There's nothing hidden here. There's no reason that you shouldn't benefit from altcoin season taking off. If it takes off a little, we should benefit a little. If this really takes off like it did in 2017, don't look back and think, oh, I watched that video and I didn't do anything. I'll sign off now. We've got so many things going on with our pro alerts. I've got to keep up with the spreadsheet. Thanks again. Wicked to have all of your requests. Thanks again for everybody who's joining up. I am so happy to share all this with everyone. Thank you. Bye for now.